What's going on YouTube? This is Rybo back at the bench today, and this time I have another cut or carry knife review. Today looking at the Spyderco McBee, a crazy little knife that I was really excited to get my hands on. I purchased this a couple weeks ago from someone. It's definitely used, and knife that I've been really wanting to try out for quite a while, and really excited to do the review today. So funky little knife. Let me do a quick size comparison. Let me just keep it in the family today, and let's do all Spydercos. So boom, PM2 and Spidey Chef. So you can see this is a really small knife. This is even smaller than I expected, and I knew that it was going to be small, but I got it and I was like, wow. This is a tiny blade. For example, this is the Dragonfly and this is the Chaparral. Both fairly small knives. The Chaparral being, closer to a regular size EDC knife, but the Dragonfly being, a remarkable example of a very ergonomic knife that you can get 4 fingers on, but a very small knife. And the McBee is like half the size, maybe not quite half. But the McBee is, it's a very small knife. But what I think is the most interesting thing about the McBee to a lot of people is that not only is it a very small knife, but it's a very small titanium frame lock knife. Like, it's a very small, nice knife. It's not just a small man bug or ladybug or dragonfly or whatever. It's like, it's a good knife, but it's kind of one of those throw in the pocket or throw in the 5th pocket or what. And I mean, this is too, but like, this is a nice knife. This is a well-made, in similar vein in a lot of ways to the Spidey Chef. This is kind of interesting. And so I think that interested a lot of people. It definitely interested me. And so actually, before I get into things I like and don't like, let me just show it really quick, folded up next to some knives. So like, again, Dragonfly, McBee. Pretty small. Let's go Spidey Chef. Really small. These actually make a great pairing, primary knife, kind of 5th pocket knife. But yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into things that I like and dislike about the Spyderco McBee. First of all, steel choice, CTS XHP. Again, this is a well-made knife, a more expensive knife, and so I'm glad that they didn't cut any corners. CTS XHP is a great steel, one that I have in several knives, this being a primary example, the FRN Chaparral. XHP is great, a little bit more prone to rust than I would choose, but takes a really sharp edge, very easy to sharpen. I really like XHP. So I really do like that, because if you think about the utility of this blade, I mean, this blade is made as a utility blade. It almost looks like a utility blade. In fact, if I have one, let me see. No, I don't have one. It looks like a utility blade. This is probably one you're going to be sharpening up quite a bit. And so having a steel where that is easy to do is a great thing. And so I really like the steel choice. Secondly, it's titanium, it's frame lock. That's really cool. Not really a ton more to say about that. Thirdly, I love blade shapes like this. I am a sucker for things like the Kaiser Mini Sheepdog and like cleaver style, utility style, X-Acto blade style blades. There's a lot of utility there. They don't work for everything, but like, they're excellent tape cutters and box cutters and letter openers, and they do a lot of things really well. Again, being a dummy proof, a person who needs dummy proofing, they're very easy to sharpen. Even if you don't have a sharpening system, you just have a stone. This is the easiest blade to sharpen, right? Because you just got to hold that angle a bunch of times, and it's pretty easy. So there's just something nice about the something nice about the simplicity of a blade shape like this, and I really like that. Other things that I like. So one thing that I did not expect to like, actually two things, is this knife is actually very easy to open thanks to that Spidey hole. I mean, that's about the only way you can make a knife like this work. I guess you could have a flipper tab back here, but you can't really get enough. The physics don't quite work as well. But this one, if you hold this, it is super easy to open, and it's actually super easy to close too, all one-handed. A lot of times on smaller knives, you definitely have to use two hands, and sometimes I still will. But this knife is actually not difficult to open and close with one hand, it being that small, which is pretty cool. The other thing I did not expect to enjoy are the ergonomics. And they're not great. I mean, they're not fantastic, right? Like this is not a, I don't know, pick your knife. But for what it is, for the amount of space on there, I mean, granted, most of the time I'm using a grip like this, right? Like most of the time I'm cutting open a box or, using a pinch grip or whatever. But for what it is, for how much space, you can get two fingers on there. You can get two there and a third to brace. Overall, not disappointed with the ergonomics. When you look at this knife, I mean, if you look at this knife, does this look like it would be comfortable in the hand? Not really, but it's not bad, again, for what it is. Other things that I like, the lock bar is excellent, very accessible, very easy to move. You've got some texture in there, and that's kind of cool. But it comes to a fine point, just easy to access. Very very functional, and so that's a nice thing for sure. Other things that I like. That's probably about it. General size and weight. Obviously, it's a small knife. It's a lightweight. Definitely is a fifth pocket knife. That's where I carry it, and it works great for that. So yeah, no complaints there. Things that I dislike about this knife. A couple things. Number one, never been a fan of the speed holes or whatever people call these. These are popular in a lot of titanium knives. I've never really liked the look of that. It just complicates it when you've got like the lanyard hole and I don't think that looks very nice. It just doesn't really fit to me. I would definitely rather have had just straight titanium there, but that's just me. Other things I'm not a huge fan of, just design-wise. I don't like the design here. This is just me. It ties it all together, but it's a little too much flash on a little knife like this. It kind of detracts, in my opinion, aesthetically from the knife. I would much rather have that be, I don't know, something that's not that. Honestly, just put a screw in there and kind of call it done. Not a huge fan. I like that at least they kept the details together, and I think here it does add a good bit of utility. Here it does not, here it does not, here it does not, so I can really do without that. Other things that I dislike about this knife, the spoon clip. Wire clip, wire clip, wire clip. Wire clip is the correct choice for this knife. The wire clip is the correct choice for this knife. Aesthetically and functionally, in my opinion, the wire clip is the right choice for this knife. I do not like the spoon clip, and I mean, to be honest, the spoon clip is fine. It works in a lot of ways. Like the PM2, I think it works fairly well. It's too short here, so it's not, it doesn't, it has, in my opinion, it's a